The FDA is being asked to investigate an energy drink owned by YouTuber and boxer Logan Paul.
This shit. It's just like the most sugary drink that doesn't have sugar in it.
Ooh, smells a bit high. What is the fucking No, it's like swallowing perfume. What is that?
And all those hydration products, the sodium content in those are out of control. I don't know.
This morning, New York Senator Chuck Schumer is calling on the FDA to investigate the energy drink Prime.
Maybe you've seen Prime Energy on social media.
The drink is getting so much negative attention, schools are actually banning it.
Just 12 ounces. It has an Prime has an eye-popping level of caffeine.
Families we talked to said the craze sparked a secondhand market in some schools.
I just think it's because famous people are like...
Yeah, the influencers.
Yeah, influencing it, and like everyone believes.
One of the summer's hottest status symbols for kids is not an outfit, it's not a toy, it's a beverage.
Because it's colourful, you know, it's bright, they might think, oh yeah, that looks so...
This morning, there's a new warning for parents and kids about energy drink.
And that's giving parents and doctors the jitter.
They also taste like Kool-Aid with 3 times the sugar in it.
That hydration market, all of a sudden everyone's realizing they're not hydrated.
Yeah.
What to give out of 10? 0.
A drink built on fame, a logo you've seen everywhere, and a question nobody expected to ask this soon. What happens when hype outruns the recipe? Prime went from sold-out shelves and stadium spotlights to lawsuits, sales slides, and a public reckoning. Today, we're pulling the cap on what really happened, and why the next twist might be the most dramatic one yet. But to understand the fall, you have to see the launch. Logan Paul and KSI, 2 of the internet's loudest megaphones, turned a hydration brand into a status symbol. UFC canvas logos, football tie-ins, creators chugging limited flavors, kids trading bottles like they were rare skins. Prime didn't just sell, it circulated. Sports partnerships stacked up, from Arsenal and the UFC to major European clubs, broadcasting the brand beyond TikTok and YouTube. That wall-to-wall visibility made it look invincible. If attention were currency, Prime was printing money. But attention ages fast, and the numbers told a different story. The first warning sign wasn't a headline, it was the shelf. Spots that used to be wiped clean by noon started staying full until closing. Retailers don't argue with reality. They reorder what moves and quietly trim what doesn't. Prime went from limit 1 per customer to buy 2 get 1 faster than anyone expected. Then the dashboards caught up. Sell-through slowed. Repeat rates softened. Hype can mask a lot in year 1. By year 2, the rebuy tells the truth. UK momentum wobbled first. The market that helped set the frenzy became the market that showed the slide. Reports flagged revenue down hard, and profits finning even faster. Classic margin compression. When you chase volume with promos, returns, and marketing adjustments. US velocity didn't collapse overnight, but the trend line leaned the same way. Less impulse, more indifference. Retail math is brutal. Every inch of shelf space has to earn rent. When scans slow, a brand's universe shrinks. Fewer facings, fewer flavors, less eye level, more bottom shelf. That hurts perception, which hurts trial, which hurts scans. Again, it's a tiny spiral, but it's a spiral. And once one big chain tightens the assortment, others feel safe to follow. The internet still looked loud. Clips, collabs, UFC backdrops, locker room cameos, but attention isn't the same as attachment. The early spike was curiosity, collectible bottles, social proof, the thrill of I got one. Curiosity is a spark. Habit is the engine. Without habit, you end up running a fireworks show every weekend just to keep the sky bright. Promotions crept in, limited drops felt less limited. Discount stickers did the talking the creators used to do. That's the quiet tell of a brand switching from demand-led growth to sell-through management. You don't need a spreadsheet to see it. You can hear it in the way staff stop saying, "We're out again," and start asking, "Do you want to try a different flavor?" There's also the cost side no one posts on Instagram. Bigger runs lock you into forecasts. Miss your numbers, and you're paying minimums, covering warehousing, eating freight, and explaining to partners why your guaranteed velocity isn't doing what the deck promised. That's when operators start using words like recalibration, seasonality, and portfolio strategy. Translation: the rocket is throttling down. Meanwhile, the competitive set never blinked. Legacy players didn't need to clap back on social. They owned the cold box, the team budgets, the training rooms, the boring but deadly reliable distribution. They can take a punch because they've taken 1,000. For Prime, every flavor drop had to be an event. For them, Tuesday was enough. Consumers voted with habits. Some stuck around for the taste, many drifted back to what they knew. Familiar sodium-potassium ratios, predictable sweetness, the brand they grew up seeing on the sidelines. When that happens at scale, the story changes from "we're the future" to "we're fixing fundamentals." It's not glamorous, and it's not fast. The worst part? Momentum has a half-life. Once the graph breaks, it's harder to sell the dream upstream. Retailers ask for proof, distributors ask for guarantees, manufacturers ask for volumes, investors ask for patience you no longer have. That's the moment when a hot brand moves from offense to defense, from "how big can this get" to "how do we hold the line?" And right when the numbers needed quiet, the noise got louder, because nothing accelerates a slide like legal headlines. The next chapter wasn't about flavors or facings, it was about court filings, contracts, and marks you're not allowed to use. First big hit, the bottler. Refresco, a major manufacturer, sued Prime/Congo brands for about $67 million, saying the company bailed on a multi-year production deal with minimum volumes. Minimums are the "we'll be here" promise in beverages. Miss those, and your partners start to wonder if the party's over. This case became a beacon for anyone asking whether demand had cooled more than the brand would admit. Then the Olympic rings. The U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee accused Prime of using protected marks. Think Team USA and Olympic phrases around a Kevin Durant edition. It's the kind of IP mistake a fast-moving brand can make when buzz outruns permissions. The kicker? By January 2025, the case was settled and dismissed. You won't see victory laps for settlements, but you will see legal fees and a quieter tone after. Labels matter, and so does what's inside the can. Two threads here kept Prime in headlines. The first, caffeine counts. Class actions argued cans surpassed the listed 200 milligrams by a small margin. The second, PFAS allegations. A 2023 class action claimed Prime Hydration's grape flavor contained so-called forever chemicals, and Logan Paul publicly fired back, calling the claim baseless. Early rulings have been mixed across PFAS food/beverage cases. What matters on YouTube isn't case law, it's perception. When forever chemicals and your product trend in the same sentence, your brand equity takes a hit, even if you ultimately win. But the pressure wasn't just legal, it was political. And it started at school. The brand that went viral with teens ran into a wall: schools and lawmakers. In Australia, schools moved to ban Prime Energy due to high caffeine content. In the US, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer publicly urged the FDA to look into caffeine and youth marketing. The agency acknowledged the review. This is the worst possible spotlight for a cool drink. Parents and principals watching. Agrovana, an ingredient supplier, filed a suit seeking roughly $13 million, alleging broken purchase agreements. Reporting also captured Prime pushing back on quality. A classic "you owe us," no "you delivered defects" standoff that pops up when volumes, cash flow, or forecasting get bumpy. You don't need the verdict to see the signal. The backstage looked strained. When legal teams start handling what ops used to handle, margins aren't the only thing thinning. So, was this just bad luck or a business model problem? Prime's superpower was attention. It clipped into UFC shots and made every flavor drop feel like an event. That's rocket fuel for trial, not a guarantee of habit. Habit is boring. Predictable taste, clean labels, easy availability at normal prices. Trust that tomorrow's bottle is the same as yesterday's. When the brand story depends on who's holding the mic instead of what's in the bottle, you're leasing demand, not owning it. Prime is in a rough patch. It's a case study in what happens when a drink is built like a vlog. Jump cuts, collabs, and chest thumping instead of boring, repeatable quality. The lawsuits, supplier fights, and shelf resets aren't random storms. They're the receive-first strategy that worshipped attention and treated trust like a prop. And at the center is Logan Paul. Louder than the product, quick to trash competitors, slow to do the quiet work that keeps bottles moving after the cameras look away. When the heat came, he doubled down on self-congratulation and talking points instead of transparency and fixes. Retail doesn't care about swagger, parents don't care about hashtags, athletes don't care about influencer lore, they care about what's in the bottle, what's on the label. The buyout fantasy? Off the table. Investors don't bankroll brands that need a mascot to sell Tuesday. Unless Logan gets out of his own way, stop the victory laps, separate energy from hydration with kid-safe clarity, publish third-party proofs, and let operators run, this story ends on a clearance rack. Hype forgives. Shelves don't. And right now, Prime looks less like a category leader and more like a loud apology for a product that never earned the noise.